the moment when I started to panic was when I could no longer move my legs at all because it was up to like my belly button. So I just couldn't.
Wow.
There was no air.
Tom, do you ever get freaked out when you're in like a tent and that, and it's night time and there's the outside?
Where the hell do you go camping?
I've just been camping with you at Reading.
I don't do that outside your tent.
Your snoring is mental.
No, it's not.
Mate, one night I was up at like 6 in the morning because I could hear you going.
That wasn't me.
It was you. I could hear it. It was either you or Ariane. It wasn't Ariane.
Definitely Ariane.
She was in my tent.
Tom, let's talk about you. You're the guest.
Girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a weird joke because we're all friends.
That's why it was so loud. She was right next to you.
Right. Do you ever get scared by ghosts and ghouls?
Ghosts. Do you ever get scared by ghosts?
Goose.
I actually live near a river, as I said, and there's geese there, so they scare me.
Yeah, that was the point, wasn't it? That we were initially saying. It does get freaky, like if I've had to camp out on my own a couple of times, and yeah, I get all scared, and I don't get that scared. I do get all lonely though. You're there, and you're sort of wet, and you get the fire going, but you're just on your own. Like you've got no one there to share it with, and as you say, it's like howls.
You've got the goose and the howls.
You've got the goosens and the howls. You get like, oh, yeah, it's just you're on your own, and it's just I wish someone was here with me to kind of like share this experience, this terrible experience with.
Has there actually ever been a scary moment at night like that? Like when you hear like maybe some branches crack or something, you're like, oh, actually, is someone
Like a big
around.
wolf dog.
There was one. This wasn't on a straight line mission, but I did a bit of camping years ago. I was with a couple of mates, and we camped in this random wood in Derbyshire. I don't know where we were, and we left the tent door open because we'd had a couple of beers. And I remember we had some foil, which we were going to use in the morning to make jacket potatoes on the fire. That was our plan. Or we'll get up and we'll cook some jacket potatoes on the fire. And the foil was on the edge of the tent, I remember. And in the middle of the night, I heard these footsteps, and I was as sure as anything that there was a man approaching our tent and standing in the mouth of our tent. And I was so like, sort of, scared basically.
Yeah.
I was sort of like, oh god, any second now a guy's going to go, what are you doing, or something, and it's going to be terrifying. And then the footsteps just walked away, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, nudged my mate. I was like, did you hear that? And they were like, yeah. And then in the morning we looked out, and the foil had gone. The foil that we'd bought had gone. We couldn't find it anywhere. It had gone.
So was it like,
I
do you
think
reckon it was a smackhead taking a foil?
no, because we were in the middle.
Why is that what you jumped to?
Yeah.
That's a theory. It's a theory. In the middle of nowhere.
Lost your spoons in your foil.
Yeah. And our heroin. No. So we think maybe a fox came up and picked up the foil because it was shiny and went.
Did
I
you
don't know.
hear the foil being?
No, just footsteps. Like, because obviously at night everything's so hypersensitive, it's so quiet. The footsteps seemed really loud, like a human.
Right.
But I guess it could have been a fox or something. But that's the creepiest thing that's ever happened at night.
Smackhead fox.
Smackhead fox, exactly. Yeah.
Is that the scariest moment you've had since doing these missions, or has there been any like near-death kind of experiences?
There's definitely been some scary moments. Namely, there's a clear winner, and it's in Norway. Norway, I thought, because Norway is completely different. You're not trespassing at any point.
Oh, right.
Because I was really far north. It was in the middle of. It was just wilderness, which posed its own issues. Because if I broke my leg or something, I would have been screwed. But I thought the steep gradients would be the scariest thing. But I managed to, overcome them fairly all right. But it was on a seemingly innocuous flat bit of ground that I started to wade into a bog, a peat bog, which is I didn't know the dangers of at the time, but they're just like. They're not like a normal bog. They're like they've got this gungy slime in them,
Right.
which is just decomposing plants over years and years and years, and you just sink and sink and sink. And the more I waded into it, but the stupid thing was I could have gone round. I could have literally gone about 5 or 6 meters to the right and avoided it. But I thought, no, Let's be true to the line. Let's, it'd be good for the cameras. I'll get a bit muddy.
Yeah.
But it turned into the moment when I started to panic was when I could no longer move my legs at all because it was up to like my belly button. So I just couldn't.
Wow.
There was no air. When your legs can move out, you've got air to kind of push against.
Yeah.
So it's easier.
Yeah.
But when they're completely submerged, you just can't move a muscle. And I was like, shit. And I started to panic. If you watch it, you'll see how panicky I am. I'm losing my shit.
Is it hard to keep filming in moments like that when you've got genuine panic?
Well, the GoPro was just on my head.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's just,
right.
If it had gone a lot worse, it just would have filmed right down to the point where it went underwater. And
we'd have never seen the footage.
Never seen the footage unless I threw it on the side. But wouldn't want my family to see that, really. Just take it under. But I remembered something. When it got to that point where the fear started to kick in, the adrenaline started to kick in, I remembered something Bear Grylls had taught me.
Go on.
I remember that he was in quicksand, I think, once on one of his programs, and he said, just lie forward, spread your weight out so that all your weight's not directly onto your feet, downwards, and then start kind of swimming, really, like kind of trying to claw your way out, and at the same time kind of try and jerk your legs up a bit backwards. So you're just taking the pressure off your feet. And I did that, and it started to work. And luckily, I could grab onto these tufts of grass that were just about in reach. If they weren't there, I don't know. I probably would have got stuck there, at least. I wouldn't have probably drowned, but I definitely would have got stuck there.
Wow.
And maybe got hypothermia. I don't know, but managed to claw my way out anyway. And
you're here to tell the tale.
I'm here to tell the tale, but I was just like, why the fuck did you do that? That was so stupid.
You are genuinely on your own when you do these. Unless like you're doing it with Greg or whatever. But like, you're not. You don't have someone else there filming you or anything.
No, I'm on my own. Verity was on that trip with me, but she'd left me, and she was 9 miles away. There were not even a path was between where she left me and the finish line, and I didn't have any signal on my phone. So it would have been a case of, if I didn't turn up by a certain time, we had a cut-off point, she rings the Norwegian Mountain Rescue and they go and look for me.
Really?
But there's a way around it. Get a satellite phone. But I didn't have one.
Have you got one now?
Nope.
They're like soaring, like it felt like there's like a saw going, and I'm there like, I feel like blood dripping down my face.
Fuck. Really? Did it bleed?